Good afternoon. Hey, I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm going to be taking a few days break here coming up on Tuesday. Don't worry about me. I'm sure I'm okay. I'm protected. But I wanted to bring up a few things today. I wanted to speak to you about how we talk. Because it's something that comes up quite often, and as you begin to come into the Spirit of Christ, when you hear things, it will rub you quite differently than it has in the past. So I would just say that take every thought captive, take every word captive, and think deeply about the things that you say. When you speak to somebody and you say, I don't want you to think badly of this, but, or please don't think that I'm angry with this, but, you're literally manipulating the conversation, and you're accepting the fact that you're willing to change it and that you don't want them to think. You do not get to change how someone else thinks. Their thinking is their responsibility. And so when you say that, you're putting on what you intend, what you want them to think. And that's precisely what this world is a world of manipulation, of mind control, of altering the way that you think. You cannot free someone from a crown of thorns by putting one on their head at the same time. Respect the sovereignty of every single person, every single child of the living God, every single child of the Father, of the Creator of all. Respect them as you respect and love yourself. That's where that scripture comes in. So, with that said also, the judgment of our eyes and the judgments of our words. So in John 5 it says, let your yes be yes and your no be no, and anything short of that is evil. Now, anything short of that is evil. That's precisely what this is referring to, is that anytime you try to change something, that where it might be yes or it might be no, you're leaving it up to their perception, so you don't have the responsibility of the words that you spoke. Be responsible for the words that you speak. What you speak are your words. Your words testify against you in the end. This is what circumcision is. It isn't a circumcised part of your body. It's a circumcision of the tongue. This is where it became a physical mark, where they would mark the physicality of somebody so they could be recognized as being more like angels, because, see, the angels were quite well known for their body parts. In fact, there are parts of the scriptures that I would call Bible porn, so to speak, where it speaks of the members of the angels were quite large. Now, see, these are things they're not going to talk to you about in church, but I'm going to speak to you about them here, because you can't avoid all of these things. You must understand where these things come from if you're going to understand how to handle them and how to deal with what the Father wants you to know. So I'm going to read to you from Matthew as well, Matthew 15. And this is going to be Matthew 15, verse 8 and 9. It says, the people honors me with their lips, and in their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men. So as men have told you what is good and what is evil, we have already entered the time. In fact, it's long been here, which is why Christ was telling the Hebrews that their father was Satan, that you have, in this world, you have called good evil, and you have called evil good. When you look at the oppressive structures of the governing bodies of this world, the rulers of this world, which are commanded by Lucifer himself, as articulated through all the Luciferian doctrines and all of the things that I've been showing you, the obelisks, those buildings themselves are but temples to the enemy. So those are the pagan institutions, and the churches that are speaking in demonic tongues and flopping themselves around on the floor, these are literally demonic possessions.
This is real. This is real. That's it. That's it. That's it. Watch out.
Lupus, all the pain is gone. Whoa.
This is not of the Father. So when you cast judgment against something like Burning Man, look, not everything there is going to be perfect, but Burning Man is a rebellion of the oppression of the governments, of the rulers of this world. So when you look at things like this, When you make a judgment about somebody being half naked in the desert, remember that it was Christ that took off of all of his clothes, wrapped a towel around his waist, and washed the disciples' feet, and then pulled the towel from his waist to dry them, being completely naked. He did this to shatter the taboos within your mind, to help you understand that these doctrines, these laws of man, have nothing to do with the laws of the Father. Nothing whatsoever. So I encourage you to circumcise your tongue and begin to take every thought captive. When you begin to judge somebody or go, that's demonic, or you see another video of something and that Burning Man is demonic, pay closer attention to where the real demonic activity takes place. Because if you want to know where it's at, it's in Washington, D.C., it's in Rome, it's in Great Britain, it's in France, it's in China, it's in Korea, it's in Japan, it's in every major capital of every major power structure on this earth. This is why they all have the obelisk. This is why they all honor the Vesica Pisces system. This is why they all support the Vesica Pisces host body system, which is spoken of through here. You're simply lambs to the slaughter. The only way that you survive this is by not judging, particularly yourself, and then not others. Once you've judged somebody else, you've judged yourself. Judge with the right mind, Christ said. With the right thinking. He's not speaking of a right-wing thinking. He's talking about correct and balanced thinking. The balance with the belt of truth, which is around your waist, which gives you the balance at all times. So I encourage you to pay closer attention to how you think and how you speak and to what bothers you. And really take the time to meditate on why that bothered you and peel off the layers of that onion. You're going to start finding that many of the things that you say cause the problems. Your expectations and your perceptions and your assumptions. Do not assume anything about anybody. When you have a problem and something goes on, when you hear the word said, well, I thought you were going to do this, you immediately should know that that's a problem. Because the two most dangerous words you can say is, I think. It should be, I know, not I think. Because I think means it's a perception. Don't speak it until you know it. Don't judge until you know for certain. Do not take somebody else's video or even mine until you've found the truth. And I've told you this constantly. Find the truth on your own. I'll turn over the stone and say, look, you must see it with your eyes. You must hear it with your ears. If I give you the answer, it won't be valuable. Only when you discover it on your own is it truly valuable to you, and will you see the true value within it. And only then can the Father speak to you and go, yes, you found it. I love you very much. I wish you all a great week. If I don't talk to you before then, I may have one or two videos prior to that. But I just want to let you know that I pray for all of you every single day. Anyone that actually listens to these and hears them, even those that disagree with what I say. Because it's important that we begin to gather and collect together and work with each other. Stop attacking one another. Stop being right versus wrong, left versus right, black versus white, white versus black, Mexican versus American. Stop thinking American. Pledging allegiance to a flag. Think about that. Pledge allegiance to the Creator of all and to your brothers and sisters. All of them around the world. All of them. They are your brothers and sisters. Love them with everything that you have. Do not judge them. Again, abandon all anger, all anxiety, all consternation, and don't judge anyone. Judge with the right mind. I love you very much. I'll see you very soon.